Okay, so let's review the vocabulary words that we actually took a pre-test on the other day. So our vocabulary words for this week are settlement, which is a permanent place for people to live. So a sentence example could be, the settlement was built next to a large lake with plenty of fish in it. The verb or word founded means to set up. Example, the leader of the group founded a new town for the colonists to live in. Charter. The word charter, it's a document, right? Or a piece of paper from a king giving land to colonists. Example, the king's charter allowed the pilgrims to build towns in Virginia, right? So it gave them that land, that permission to the land. The word council. A council is a group of people who give advice, which you can kind of see in the photograph there. They're in a council meeting. Example, at the meeting, the council told the town how to improve their roads. Especially in the news, you might hear about the city council. Oh, sorry, let me go back. This is delegates. The word delegate, it's a noun. Those are people chosen to go to a meeting to represent others. Okay, they're part of the government. Example, the delegates from Georgetown K-8 went to the Savannah City Schools meeting downtown. Right, so those people, those delegates were representing our school of Georgetown. Inland, which is literally means inland or away from the ocean. So the family moved inland so they could hunt animals in the mountains. And then our last vocab word of the week, merchants, which is also a noun, people who own businesses. So in today's reading lesson, we're going to learn about a lot of the merchants of the New England colonies. So example, the merchants sold beautiful clothes for the colonial women to buy. Oh, I'm sorry, we did have one more. Last one, and we actually also read about this with the tailors that we learned about today who made corsets. And corsets were worn under a woman's dress and they were stiffened. They were made really hard by using whale bones. So the example, the woman's corset was so tight it made her faint, which actually often did happen. Now, this is what your opening activity is going to be, okay? On the next slide. Pick one vocabulary word and use it to write a sentence of your own. Now, based on the pre-test that I gave you the other day, a few of you have mastered the words. So if you, or I should say most of the words. So I would like the people who normally go to Miss Haley, okay? So that's Corey, Braxton, and Colby. I'm not sure Marnice is not here. What I want you to do is I want you to use 2 vocabulary words to write a sentence of your own. If anyone else wants to try and challenge themselves, you definitely can. But everyone, you need to write one sentence using at least one of the words. People that I just mentioned that go to Miss Haley, I want you to write a sentence using 2 words, okay? So 2 words in the same sentence. All right, so before I kind of give you a chance, because I'm going to give you about, I believe the timer is set for 3.5 minutes. And of course, if you don't want to type it out on the Nearpod slide, you can always write it on the piece of paper, okay? So what questions do you have?
You can't write or anything.
Right, so do you have a question about this? So what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna take any of our vocabulary words and you're gonna write it with, you're gonna use it in a sentence example, okay? So you're not just writing the definition, you're creating your own sentence example, such as my own, right? Like if I chose the sentence example, the woman's corset was so tight it made her faint, right? So I use the word corset in a sentence of my own. So be creative with this. It doesn't have to be a word from or a sentence about the colonial times, as long as you use the word in a sentence that makes sense. All right, I'm going to start this on the next one and we'll share out what your sentences are. I should say be prepared to share out. All right, the activity is about to start. All right. And for those of you who did not get a chance to log into Nearpod, you are still accountable for this, okay? So if you need to write it on a piece of paper, you are more than welcome to. And you might need to scroll down to see the words, okay? The definitions. You can choose any word that you'd like, except for my Miss Haley's folks, I want you to write a sentence with one sentence with 2 of the words in it as a challenge. Okay. So remember, make sure you're using one of the words in your sentence, okay? So you're not just writing the definition. So if you choose the word founded, right? You could say the king founded a new town in Georgia. Okay, so you want to actually use a word in the sentence. Okay, so you've got about 2.5 more minutes and I'll give you a little bit more time if you need it. Okay. Right, and for those of you who are working on the sentence, the words are got settlement, which is a permanent place, founded, to set up, charter, right? You could even say, I was given a charter to build a house on the land. Council.
Miss Cathcart?
Yes, ma'am.
Do we do like one sentence, like 2 sentences, one with each word, or like one sentence?
I will allow that. Yep, I wanted to try and challenge you, but you can do, if that's too much of a struggle, you can definitely do 2 separate sentences.
Hey, Miss Cathcart.
Hello. All right.
Hey, Miss Cathcart.